So today we're going to practice the tuck handstand. Now the tuck handstand is a progression from the straight standing handstand, and why we do it is because in my opinion it's one of the most important positions that you can hold in a handstand position. Now the tuck handstand forces us to align all the correct things above each other. And what does that mean? So if your straight standing handstand is a little bit off and your shoulders are not quite open enough, the tuck handstand helps us to force our shoulders in the right position. To be honest, with me, my shoulders were not open for a very long time, and because of this, I avoided doing the tuck handstand. But it's only after I started doing the tuck that my shoulders did open up a lot more and I could align myself really well in my handstand. So without further ado, let's get into it. So hand placements in your tuck handstand. So we want to have our hand placements directly underneath our shoulders. And if you are someone who has a little bit of a bigger chest or bigger arms, you want to have your hands just a little bit wider than your shoulders. Now, I don't mean so wide that it's off your mat, but I mean like if your hands are underneath your shoulders, I would take them out by like 1 inch. And that should provide you enough space to push your chest through in your tuck handstand. Now, one of the main goals that we have in our tuck handstand is to lead with our chest. So we want to push our chest through our shoulders and lead with our lower back over our shoulders and our wrists. Another thing that you need to be concerned about in your tuck handstand is your shoulder placement. So once we have our hands aligned underneath our shoulders and once we walk ourselves in, we do not want to let our shoulders go too far forward or stay too back, because that's going to hinder the integrity of the pose when you jump into it. If your shoulders are too far forward, you are just going to go over, and if it's too far back, it's going to be very hard for you to get into the correct position. So what we want to do is we want to align our shoulders directly above our wrists, and then even when we're jumping, we want to keep them static in one position. Okay, so what you want to do is step into a downward facing dog, plant your hands down, make sure your shoulders are directly above your wrists, and we want to make sure that our shoulders do not move back and forth, so it doesn't go too much forward and it doesn't go too much back. Once you have the correct position in your shoulders, you can shift your gaze in between your hands, walk your feet in as much as you can, keep your legs together, keep your knees together, and jump until your lower back is directly above your shoulders. We want to make sure in our tuck handstand that our wrists are over our elbows are over our shoulders, and our shoulders are over our hips. So staying straight in our handstand, and we want to push our chest through our shoulders to make sure that we have the correct alignment in this posture. When you're ready to come down, all you need to do is keep pushing through the base of your palms and land your legs softly. Okay, so if you find the handstand tuck hard, a progression would be to try it out in your forearm stand. So to do a forearm stand tuck is basically the same principle. You want to keep your hands down, you want to have your shoulders directly above your elbows, and like we push through our palms in our tuck handstand, we want to push as much as we can through our elbow in the forearm tuck. So when we're doing this, again, in order to open up our shoulders, what we want to do is push down as much as we can through our elbows and drive our chest through our shoulders. Walk your feet in, watch where your shoulders are, jump into your forearm stand, and then what you want to do is keep pushing through your elbows and push your chest through your shoulders. This should definitely open up your shoulders and make it way more easier. Make the handstand tuck way more easier. Once you're ready to calm down, slowly bring your knees down. Try it out. So another progression we can do is to use the wall, but without bouncing off the wall to find your balance. What I like to use the wall for is to push against the wall, so we can rest ourselves against the wall and push through the correct areas that we need to push and recruit the correct muscle fibers that you need to recruit in order to hold yourself in a tuck without using the wall. So if you want to try it out, get your hands maybe a foot away from the wall. Make sure they're shoulder distance apart. Walk your feet in, make sure your shoulders above your wrists, and make contact with the wall. Push to the base of your palm as much as you can and drive your chest through your shoulders. Make sure to hold this position for like 30 seconds and maybe repeat it a couple of times so your body knows the correct amount of strength and position it needs to hold the Tuck Handstand. Once you're ready to come down, slowly push off. Okay, so another thing we need to be aware of when we're practicing to hold the tuck without the aid of a wall is we need to learn how to fall. So it's the same thing the way you would fall out of a regular handstand, and I will demonstrate that now shortly. So basically, when you have your hands down on the mat and you feel like you're going over, the only thing you need to do is lift one hand up and place it forward. So that looks a little something like this. So if you have your hands down like this, the moment you feel like you're going over, just lift the hand up and place it forward. What we don't want to do is bend our hands. If we bend our hands, chances are you're going to face plant. Okay, so like I was saying, when you want to fall, when you feel like you're going over, all you want to do is take your hand up and place it to the side, and you should land safely. So in practice, it will look a little something like this. So place your hands underneath your shoulders, walk your feet in, your shoulders stay above your wrists. Go into your tuck. Once you're ready to come down, lift one hand up and place it to the side. And you should land pretty safely. So try that, guys.